In our last wiring segment, we will be hardwiring our second LHA, which is LHA2, in our power adapter going to LHA2, our light housing unit, LHA2. This is for the power to the 3 lamps in LHA2 box. We'll use yellow wiring to differentiate between the first and second box. The first box was blue. The second box we will use yellow. Notice as we install our first wire, L2-1, in our power adapter, and it will go to LHA number 2 box, and it will be hardwired into LX1 of LHA2. Our second hot wire going to our second lamp in our LHA box, coming from our power adapter, going to LHA2 position LX2 of our second lighthouse assembly. Now we need one more hot wire for our third lamp, coming from L2-3 of our power adapter. Notice all 3 of our outputs are jumpered together, so it's a common 6.6 amps that's going to each of our light housing assemblies, but it's jumpered coming from one source, which means we're using a heavier gauge wire because we're now using 20 amps of power for 3 lamps out in our box. So we will hardwire LHA2 lamp number 3 into LX3, which is our third and final lamp that now has the hardwired hot side going to each of our lamps in our LHA2 from our power adapter, and our housing labeled with the yellow wire for our second LHA. Once again, we come to a point where we'll need a return for our 3 hots, which we will designate on our power adapter as R2. R2 is then selected. We have approximately 20 amps coming out of that position, going out and hardwiring our 3 lamps with a common return. In LHA2, we will again use the center terminal block, and now we have completed our circuit for our second LHA. We now have wired in our power adapter our second 3 lamp box, which is LHA2, yellow wires L2-1, L2-2, L2-3, each respectively 6.6 amps going to LHA2 light housing assembly with a common return of 20 amps going back to our power adapter LHA or box number 2 with a common 20 amp return at R2. Now we have completed 2 boxes hardwired from our power adapter and our series loop tilt switch circuit. We now only have to have our input power coming in from our power source, in general 240 volts AC, sometimes used a little differently depending upon our power source. For this final designation, we're simply going to use 2 red input wires to designate our input circuit that is a line source voltage that will power our power adapter. And now we have completed our power for this CHAPI system. 2 boxes, 3 lamps each box with tilt switch and incoming power.